Once soft blonde and curly, it is now dyed almost black and stick straight. I have on my stunning war suit, thinking no one can see my devastation. My gait is halting, and I push away invisible predators as though someone is poking at my sides. My boundaries pour, I draw them to me. I carry a large animal-printed tote bag filled with the weight of my world. There are legal documents, depositions, art projects, endless to-do lists, and journals of pain. I come into my therapist's office today daring her to save me from myself, to free me from this disguise of deception, because I ache for tenderness. The second poem is a true story. It's called Nothing Happened. No one saw or heard him leave that night, and now he was lost on the streets of LA. The police were too busy to be bothered with one more lost soul on the streets. So, with a picture of her son in hand, she hit the pavement running. Looking under homeless blankets, desperate, and almost out of her mind with exhaustion, she took out a Hebrew prayer that her friend had pressed into her hand before she had gotten on the plane to search for him. It brought her into the deep, nurturing warmth of God's protection, and she fell into a deep sleep. A few hours later, she was awakened by the news that sometime during the night, he found a policeman and asked for help. She went to the emergency room. Psychotic, hollow, dark-ringed eyes, gaunt. He had been walking the LA freeway for hours without shoes, food, money, or ID. He wasn't abducted or killed, but rather watched over by a city of angels and the deep prayer space of a mother praying beyond prayer. 5 days later, she flew home with Vinny, the dog he had found on his trip across country. He had made it to his destination. Nothing happened. This poem just came from a place I don't know. It's called Birth. Life happens. A shard of God's divine light forms inside the womb, inside a seed, inside the mind of minds and heart of hearts. Endless possibilities for this tender flicker of light, so close to God at its conception. Gentle buds and limbs outgrow their casings and burst forth, sucking in the air, crying. What immensity of space, what light. Now, vibrating in the outer world, known to itself, and then forgetting. Life strives for life, something higher, something deeper, to fulfill itself, to bring forth something good, to be free from desire and the suffering that it brings. To find the peace that comes from surrendering the small self again and again. Creation must recreate itself. It must seek rebirth. It must reawaken to what it already knew when it became manifest. Unless it comes to know that it is loved for itself, the fruit will wither on the vine. Life happens. We must awaken to the experience to be truly born.